Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of Hanabi Beginner Reviews. This will be a pretty good one. I will warn you, it sort of builds on some of the cool strategies we've introduced in the past couple episodes, so I recommend going and checking out probably episode 2 more than anything. But anyway, let's begin. And as I will say almost every episode, remember to get used to starting each game by really evaluating the situation. What do you see? What are the clues that you can predict will happen? So for example, there's 2 1s to get, there's 2 5s to clue. Remember, we do 5 stalls. There's a blue one, there's maybe this, and Alice kind of praised that she has a green 1, right? Because we see almost every green card. All right, so the question is, how should Alice open with now that she's evaluated? Well, the biggest thing that catches my eye is these purple cards. And notice, yeah, there are 2 copies of the purple too. So the question is, which copy do we want to use? We can look at it quickly. Let's say we start with purple. And that's fine, yeah, it's a 2 for 1, and this one can get picked up later as yellow. It means we don't use this one. Yeah, it can be discarded, that's fine and all. But issue is, now this card is going to remain untouched. And if a purple 3 doesn't show up in the next few rounds, we might actually lose this. So that would be very sad. So yeah, in this case, I would highly recommend we want to use this purple 2, because as soon as, well, actually, let's just see what happens at the game. Alice starts with 1s. So Bob will play a 1. If there's nothing better to do, Kathy might just clue purple. And then, beautiful, right? Now we got this to play, and now we have touched this purple 4, meaning we will save it for later. Okay, well, let's see how this plays out. Bob's job at this point is just to play his 1s, because he has no idea which ones he has. It'd be very silly of him to clue, yeah, any other 1s. So he just wants to play his 1s. Okay, now, this is a very funny draw. Now if Kathy clues purple, think about what Donald will take of it from his perspective. And sure enough, yes, it could be a reverse finesse. In fact, yeah, this is a very spicy, if this is a purple 3 here, it's being clued, that's an amazing clue, right? Because it's getting, this card will blind play as purple 2, and Bob will be shocked when it is not, in fact, purple 2. But yeah, he'll keep playing it. So that's a layered finesse. I don't know if we've seen one of those yet, but they're very cool. Now, only problem here is that this is not a purple 3. It's actually just a purple 2. But fortunately, that's okay. It's totally fine, and Kathy can indeed still clue purple. It just means you're putting Donald, and you should be aware of this before you commit to a clue like this. You are putting Donald in an awkward situation. Because yeah, like he can never know that this is purple 2 right now. He will always have to wait to see if this blind plays, because that'll signal to him that it is indeed purple 3. Fortunately for Kathy, little does she know, she actually has a blue 1. So Donald clues this and awaits with bated breath to see if this blind plays. Now Alice is sort of a spectator in this unfolding drama here. So Alice just gives a nice simple 1 for 1. As weird as this would be, like, yeah, Bob would need to blind play this if this is purple 3. But he does not blind play this. So at this point, after Bob's turn, yeah, this is now resolved. Okay, but speaking of Bob's turn, he now knows he has a red 1, because remember, it was Alice giving the clue, so no confusion there that it's maybe a red 3 or something. And this is some other 1. And a big tip, I will always recommend, unless, there's some really important reason to do otherwise, I definitely recommend playing the card that you don't have as much information about before the card that you totally know. This one could still be yellow or green, right? It's obviously not red. It's obviously not blue because Donald wouldn't have included blue 1 here. So Bob would love to know if this is green or yellow. So he plays that first. No reason not to just play the card. Like we said, Donald knows this is purple too. I should note we're almost out of the early game, which remember means that we're almost out of useful clues to give, meaning someone might discard soon. That's another thing to start becoming aware of and looking out for, is whether or not someone might discard. Yeah, and even you can try to look ahead and predict who might discard, right? Because I see a 5 save to give, there's a 5 stall to give. Point being, Donald can just play and see what happens. Now, this is like by far the best draw possible in the deck, so well played to the team here for lucking out in this case. Yeah, so I mean, this is just a bonkers clue. Alice can pick up the whole green suit with a single clue, green to Kathy. Play a clue on this card. Yeah, incredible. So it's a double reverse finesse for green 1 and 2. Here's the 3. And Kathy, honestly, I mean, this clue is so good that it is quite possible, I would say, that these could definitely be both green 4s, right? Or maybe duplicate green 3s, but who knows? Anyway, Bob's turn. Bob does see that this red 1 play plus this red 2 may be the only cards left, so cards might start to discard. So Bob deploys one of my favorite conventions of the game, and we introduced this last time, the Gentleman's Discard. Bob says, nah, I'd rather discard this red 1. And just like when you finesse someone, this green clue says, hey, someone has the green 1 on finesse. They can blind play it immediately. This is exactly the same message, right? It's saying, hey, someone has the red 1 on finesse and can immediately play it. So there you go. And just a quick refresher, right? Why I think this is a really good clue. It's that if you assume that someone's going to discard a card soon, and that a red 1 is going to play soon, we would much rather have this discard as known trash than to have this play and then have Alice need to discard this card, which is definitely not trash. So in other words, by discarding the red 1 here, we say that it's protecting Alice's chop, right? Because it's keeping Alice busy with stuff to do for longer. So that's a pretty fun tactic and why this is one of my favorite conventions. Okay, onwards. So Kathy's sitting tight, still the 5's clue to give. Okay, Donald is also going to be busy for a while, playing green 1, green 2. So there's the blind play. Alice plays. And now this red 3 shows up. Well, now Bob has to start crafting a line to get these cards secured. We got the red 2, 3, 4. Now, awkwardly, of course, it doesn't quite line up to do an immediate, sick double finesse or whatever. Well, 4s. Because there's a blocker, right? So, Bob is a good teammate and sets up by cluing red. Okay, so now this has been identified, and we can move forward with the red suit. But let's be careful. Kathy would love to clue 4 here. Okay, 4 here, and you might think, oh, sweet, it's going to work as a self-finesse, right? Red 4, red 2 means Donald must have red 3. But unfortunately, yeah, Hanabi is a hard game, and I don't think that would work. It might work, to be fair, but it might not, and let me explain why. It's easy to see from our perspective, right? Because we see the red 3. But if we check Donald's perspective, put on Donald vision, this can be a playable 4 without any added magical blind plays happening, right? Because we have the green 2, the green 3, and so what do you know? This will probably just be marked as a green 4, and the team would be in big trouble. Yeah, so you got to be very careful sometimes about what information you want to tell someone versus the information that they'll probably take away from it, because often they are not the same things. So Kathy does the polite and careful thing and just clues them one at a time. All right. It's almost the end of early game. We've done well for ourselves, but Donald still has something to do. He plays the 2. Oh, and sorry, I should note, this 3 could be 2 things, right? It could be purple. Actually, well, yeah, sure, it could be purple, yes. It could be purple 3, but it could also be red 3. Doesn't really matter to Donald. All he knows is it's playable. But he has more important stuff to do. He blind plays the 2. Alice plays the 2, as expected. And now this is kind of fun. Bob gets to choose which of these red 4s to clue now. And in this case, I'd argue it's pretty clear. You definitely want to clue this 4 here. Reason being is that both of them give extra information, right? 4s here conveniently fills this in as a green 4. And to be fair, 4s here, notice, also conveniently fills this in as a 4. But I'd say those are not equivalent because, yeah, the extra information on this 4 is pretty pointless. I mean, Donald already knows this is not a 3. Compared to the 4's clue here, it's, yeah, not even close. Because this way, this lets Kathy keep playing the greens without further prompting. Kathy, 0 clues, green 3, plays the 3. Oh, just kidding. Boom. Another gentleman's discard. Yeah, there's no reason not to do this, right? The team is at 0 clues. And again, yeah, I mean, why not protect this a little bit and free up the team with a few more options? Just discard this. Alice can stay busy. And yeah. Red 3 plays. Green 3 can play. 1 clue left. The team has done an admirable job at trying to protect this yellow 4. Of course, you know, Bob doesn't see the other yellow 4, so soon Bob sees that this yellow 4 is about to be lost. So let's imagine a world where let's say this is red 1. And let's say Bob uses the last clue with something like this. Very natural play clue. Play here. Play here. And what do you know? Yeah, Alice has 0 clues, and after all this time, we lose the yellow 4, which would be very sad. Okay, so what would you do if you were Bob here? There is, remember, a cool technique that we learned about in previous episodes. One hint is just, we'd much rather Alice discard these trash cards than these good cards. So fortunately, there is a way Bob can help with that by cluing 1s. To be very clear with this move, remember it is telling Alice to, discard these first and to save this card. It's not the case that this is saved eternally. This is not actually technically saved. This one is. This one could still be trashed, theoretically. But at least it delays the issue for a long time. Okay, so play 4. Yeah, Kathy should very much suspect this is exactly green 5, so she wants to play the 4 into the 5. Yeah, because she doesn't see red 5 anywhere, so yeah, let's do that. Get a clue back for the team sooner. Donald is the first to discard. And look at that, the team has played beautifully, protecting, cluing all the cards, and it should not be a surprise that when the discard finally comes, it is indeed trash, right? We don't need this card, it's already touched, get out of here. Okay. Alice sees a nice clue for Bob, and also, importantly, to note, we don't really want Bob to discard here, because especially from Alice's perspective, right? Yeah, Bob's hand is pretty loaded up with stuff. So it could actually be pretty awkward if Bob discards and draws, say, a yellow 5. Yeah, so Alice has no trash, so she just wants to discard. Hey, and sure enough, yellow 5 shows up. Alright, now how to continue. Honestly, there are a few good lines, but there's no reason to get fancy. Just clue it 2. So Kathy, she wants to figure out for sure, might as well play this, confirm that it is indeed green 5. The team's at 0 strikes. Obviously no one has literally told her it's a 5, but they have told her that it's a good card and that it's not a 3 or 4. So, yeah, I definitely like this play because it gives the team another clue back, most importantly. Okay, this could be yellow or blue, so yeah, let's not even talk about that. Donald plays the 2. Alice doesn't know about her own blue 3. Yeah, you can't clue your own hand, so no finesse there. But look what did just show up. The missing key to the purple suit. Now this is a little bit of a fancy clue. Alice sees 3, 4, 5. So she actually just clues purple here. Now, of course, you might rightfully think, well, piano blue, this just got a play clue. Can't this just be purple 3? Why isn't this about to bomb as purple 3? Fair enough. Bob could bomb it. But two things. One, I'd say I don't think this is ever purple 3, because actually, if you go back, you can zoom back to the beginning of the game. This has been sitting here the whole game. And if this is purple 3, and remember, when you play online, you can actually, during the game, you can go through the review and look back at everything that's happened. So yeah, on one hand, we'd call that there is context. There's a lot of context. This is never purple 3. we've just let it sit there, hanging out this whole game. And now you're saying the only time it got clued is exactly when this purple 3 shows up, and now all of a sudden, boom, purple clue. So yeah, I mean, there's that. But also, here's the other point. Even if it is a purple 3, somehow, and the team just forgot to clue it the whole game, Bob would still be incentivized to discard it, to do a third gentleman's discard to Donald. But regardless, in this case, Bob has a more important thing to do, which is to clue 3. 3 to finesse the 2, classic. And yeah, now Bob can wait and confirm that this is going to blind play. But wait, you might ask, why didn't this play first? And of course, this is, again, one of the magical parts of playing Hanabi online, is the globally known information that cards are not certain things. If you look down at the bottom of the card, you see 1 and 4. That means, yeah, it's only a 1 or 4. And the 5 is X'd out because Donald sees the purple 5. So, yeah, in this case, it cannot be the 3, so it must mean that Donald just drew the purple 3 here. So he plays it. Okay, this is not in danger because this is trash. Alice can just play the 3. 0 clues. This can still play. Yeah, no reason to rush these. In fact, Kathy would actually love to draw right now in hopes of drawing yellow 3. Little does she know she already drew it, so finish that up. Discard, play. Okay, this is a little bit, I think this is probably the last important point of this replay. This force clue might look a little dangerous. Because we've talked about chop focus, right? Focus the clue is the chop, right? That would mean this, right? But no, not anymore. Remember that this card was already saved back from this ones clue. So this is no longer on chop. That's why we call it a chop move. So now that this is already saved, it is not going to be the focus of a clue here. Yeah, we say, the focus of a clue is always the newly introduced cards. So in this case, this is already gotten. So 4 clue here is actually a signal here. I don't know, if you wanted to play a little bit safer, I would not hate this clue, just because it makes it super, super clear. But I chose this 4 clue just to introduce the concept, and it should work. Donald clue's yellow, just because we need to get this played. This is actually known trash from Donald and Kathy's shared perspective, right? Because we see all the yellow 4s and 5s. Okay, so play. And now we just mop up the last 5s. So 5 here. Play, 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 play. Lovely finish. And once again, full score. No cards were ever at risk. We never lost a single useful card. So hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching. See you next time.